Welcome back, week 6, day 2. Today we're going to see the third method of graphing, okay? So we're going to start with the definitions as usual. So the definition of today is standard form of a linear equation. What is the standard form of a linear equation? It is the formal way of writing an equation that has two variables. It is written as ax plus by equals to c, where a, b, and c are real numbers. In other words, any number, positive, negative, fraction, decimal, integers, square roots, non-terminating decimals, terminating decimals, any number that you can imagine is a, b, or c. And a and b cannot be both 0 at the same time. One of them can be 0, but not both of them, okay? Now, we're going to work with the x-intercept and the y-intercept. We already worked with the y-intercept in our previous topic in the slope-intercept form equations, okay? We know already what the y-intercept is. However, I'm still going to define it again. Today, the new definition is the x-intercept. The x-intercept is the x-coordinate of the point where the line crosses the x-axis. It will be written in the form of a number, comma, 0 when we're talking in an ordered pair. The y-intercept, like we already know, is the y-coordinate of the point where the line crosses the y-axis. And we have been working with it as 0, comma, and a number. Okay, which number in slope-intercept form? It was b, okay, the constant of the equation. In this case, it's a little bit different. It could be a little bit different. We're going to see the new method of how to graph, okay? As you can see, standard form is when we have both variables, y and x, or x and y, in one same side. And in the other side, we have the constant, okay? So a variable plus or minus the other variable will be equal to a constant. So we have here two examples. Example number 1, and the instructions are find the intercepts and graph each equation. This is a method that's mostly used when we are graphing because it is really easy, okay? We're going to identify the intercept in x as I, x. I for intercept, x for the x-intercept. So intercept in x. You are going to open a parenthesis, leave an empty space, comma, and add a 0. And what are you going to do? You're going to substitute this 0 in the y. Y in the y. Remember, the ordered pairs are x, comma, y. We are trying to find the value of x. Therefore, we are going to, as you can see, this is in standard form with variables in the same side. So we're going to try and find the x-intercept by substituting this 0 in y. So every single time that we're looking for the x-intercept, you're substituting 0 in the variable y. Okay, so let's do it. We're going to have x plus 2 instead of y, 0 equals to 18. 2 times 0?
0.
0. So x is equal to 18. So your intercept in, let's do it a smaller number. This is too big. Let's do 8, okay? That's too big. There. So x is equal to 8. And that x, that number, 8, is the number that you're going to be writing in this empty space that you left. We found the intercept in x in there. Now we're going to do the same thing, but for the intercept in y. We're going to identify it now, not as v, but as I, y. We're going to open a parenthesis. Now the 0 goes first, comma, and we leave an empty space. Now, as we did in here, what we're trying to do is to find the value of y. So we're going to substitute 0 in the variable x. So it goes like the other way around. If we're looking for the variable, the intercept x, we substitute 0 in y. If we're looking for the intercept in y, then we substitute 0 in x, okay? And that's what we're going to be doing. So we're going to have now, instead of x of the original equation, we're going to have 0 plus 2y equals to 8. 0, I don't need a 0 adding or subtracting, so basically I can eliminate that, and I can say that I have only 2y. Now we need to leave the y completely alone. What should we do to leave the y completely alone?
Divide.
Exactly, plus that 2 dividing. So we're going to have that y is equal to 8 divided by 2. How much is 8 divided by 2?
4.
4.
4. And there, you got your intercept in y. You got 2 points. We need at least 2 points to draw a straight line. So now let's graph it, okay? So we're going to draw our axis. Remember that I have issues right now with my computer. So we're just going to be moving it enough. I don't need negatives, so I'm going to do the positives only. Remember to draw the arrowheads, okay? And now we're gonna graph our points. 0, 8, that 8, 0, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not long enough, so let's make it longer. Okay, so again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, 0 is over here, this point over here. Now, 0, 4, I'm going to do it in green. 1, 2, 3, 4. Over there. I got 2 points, and I just go ahead and connect it with a straight line. I'm going to do it in a straight line in green. Passing through the center of both. And I extend it to both sides of the points, and I draw my arrowhead. And this is the line, the graph of x plus 2y. You want to prove it that we're going to have exactly the same line by using the slope-intercept form, then we can do it, okay? Just for common knowledge. Remember that I need to have the y completely alone and positive. So if I do that, I'm going to have y is equal to 4 minus 1/2 of x. This is the intercept. So b is 0, 4. And the slope in this case is -1/2. Okay, this goes down and this goes to the right. This is 0, 4. Okay, and it says that I go 1 down and 2 to the right. 1, 2. And over there is my second point. And you see, it is exactly the same line. It is a point in exactly the same line. And if I do it with the input-output table, I will also be getting the same line. Okay? Question so far? This is the third method. Input-output table, first method. Slope-intercept form, second method. Intercepts, third method. Yes, the slope is negative. It is a negative slope. Very good. How do you know? Well, there are 2 ways. It is inclined to the left, and we got the negative over there. So it is a negative slope, and we identify it in different ways, and we can graph it in different ways. Now, this method of using the intercepts is the easiest method of them all, and it is the method that you need to learn by heart because you're going to be working with it in graphing other kind of functions like absolute values, okay, that we have already graphed. So this is the second method. The third method. Any questions so far? The green part is just the proof for you to see that it can be graphed with this other method, slope-intercept form, okay? Next exercise, I'm gonna move it. There, a little bit only, okay? We got y equals 3x plus 1. Is that in standard form? Is it in standard form? Yes or no? No, Josue? Yes, Daniel? No, Josue says no, Daniel says yes. Josue, you're right. That's not standard form. That's slope-intercept form. Remember, slope-intercept form, you have the variable y completely alone in one side and positive. Standard form, you have both variables on the same side, okay? Now, if I want to write this as a standard form, I just need to do a swap. Pass this y to the side where the x is and pass the 1 to the side where the y is, okay? Just to make the swap, I'm gonna get -1 is equal to 3x minus y. That is the standard form, okay? We're gonna say SF. This, where the y is completely alone, is slope-intercept. We're gonna say SI. But it doesn't matter. You can use either forms to find the intercept. Either form will be completely okay to find the intercepts. So I'm going to find the intercepts with the original exercise, okay? So intercept in x, remember we leave an empty space, comma 0, and we're gonna substitute, okay? We're gonna substitute the 0 in the y. So we're gonna get 0, because it's on the y, equals to 3x minus 1. I need to leave the x completely alone. Therefore, the -1 goes to the other side, positive, and I have 1 is equal to 3x. It's still not alone, so I pass the 3 to the other side. Doing what? Dividing, very good. To the person who answered in the chat. So we got that 1/3 is equal to x. Just for the sake of the graphing, you can pass it to a decimal, okay? Or you can leave it over here like 1/3. And then at the side, you can place as a decimal 0.3333 or 0.3, comma 0. Okay, just for the sake of the graphic. Now we're gonna find the intercept in y, where x is 0, and we leave an empty space. And now we're gonna substitute instead of x, the 0. So we're good, y is equal to 3, and instead of x, 0 plus 1, because we're talking with the original exercise, okay? And 3 times 0?
0.
0, and 0 plus 1?
1.
1. So my y-intercept is 1. And as you can see, as a slope-intercept form, we know that this one is the intercept. So it's okay, we got it, perfect. And so now in order for me to graph, I'm gonna move you guys to the other side. And I'm gonna graph over here. As you can see, I need only 1 and 0.3. So this is called scaling, okay? What I'm gonna do is called scaling. This is gonna be 2, and over here is gonna be 1. And over here, we're gonna get the 0. Why am I doing this? And I'm gonna use 2 squares as a unit? Because I don't need much, okay? I don't need much. All I need is that. So I'm gonna say, okay, 0.3, comma 0. If this is 1, right in the middle is 0.5. So a little bit after that, under that, we're gonna have 0.3. And I don't need you to be completely accurate. Okay, I don't need you to be completely accurate. You can do a guess, but that's on the y, so that's incorrect. It has to be on the x, so it has to be over here, okay? Because it's 0.3. Now the other one is 0, 1. So it is over here. And now I can connect my lines, okay, in a straight line. Let me see if I got it correct. You see, I got a mistake in here. This was +1. Therefore, this passes to the other side as a negative. You're not in class. You're not paying attention. This is negative. So therefore, this is negative 1/3, negative 0.3. And the mistake was this one. Okay. Okay, there. And this is 1, negative 1, okay? So now that's the mistake. You need to be really careful with what you're doing. Okay, so we go through the center of each point. And now that is a positive slope. As you can see, it was 3. And you can go ahead and see that you're gonna get, using slope intercept form, exactly the same answer. Just be careful with the signs, okay? Be careful with the numbers that you're using. I got a mistake in there because I got confused and I wrote -1 and it was +1. And it gave me a wrong line. So you need to be really careful about that. Any questions about this so far, guys? Easy peasy breezy lemon squeezy. Let's do one more exercise. I'm gonna move to the side. No, downwards. I'm gonna move it downwards. I'm gonna move you again to the other side. Now we're gonna work with example number 3. And example number 3 is gonna be 2x minus 4y is equal to 16. Okay. Is this in standard form? Is this exercise in standard form? Yes, it is. Do I need to have it in standard form to use the intercepts? Or can I find the intercepts with an equation that's in slope intercept form? Can I use the method of the intercepts if it's not written in standard form? Yes, of course, I can use the method, okay? So again, remember, first thing, intercepting x, where I need to find x and y is 0 in the original. So I'm going to substitute instead of y, I'm going to place a 0. So 2x minus 4, and instead of y, 0 equals to 16. 4 times 0, negative 4 times 0. We cancel it out. So we got 2x, it's equal to 16. I need to leave the variable completely alone. Therefore, the 2 goes to the other side with an inverse operation, which is a division, don't forget it. And x is equal to 16 divided by 2. How much is 16 divided by 2?
8.
So x is equal to 8. Very good. Now let's find the intercept in y. I'm placing that 8 over here. Okay, now intercept in y, where now x is 0, and I'm finding the value of y. So I got 2, and instead of x, 0, remember we're working with the original exercise, minus 4y is equal to 16. 2 times 0, 0, right?
0.
Cancels out. We got negative 4y, remember, to take into account the sign in front of the number, equals to 16. We leave the variable completely alone, therefore this number goes to the other side. How?
Dividing.
Dividing, very good. I don't want to see anyone saying that it goes adding because it's positive. No, it goes dividing because it's multiplying. So y is equal to 16 divided by -4. How much is 16 divided by -4?
4, -4.
-4, very good, Genesis. And that's the number that I'm placing over here, -4. Now I'm ready to graph. As you can see, I need -4 on the y and +8 on the x. So I'm gonna do a pretty big line, okay? So I can have enough space for everything. And I'm gonna start counting. You can do this as well. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So 0 goes over here. Actually, I didn't need that much because it was -4. Let's do it this way, okay? Because I don't need that much. Erase this. And let's leave it over here. So 8,0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 0, -4, -1, -2, -3, -4. And now I just go ahead and connect it with a straight line. And that's your line. And that's it. That's graphing using the two intercepts. Easy, right? Any questions? No? Let's place the name of the topic. What is the topic's name? As usual, it's in there.
Intercepts.
Nope.
Linear equation.
Standard form. Standard form equations. And that is the topic of today. Any question, guys? No questions? Okie dokie then. This is the topic for today.